Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, in whichever time you're watching this. Welcome to SSC Sikkim Static and Current, your one place for general knowledge, history, and current affairs of Sikkim. In this video, we will do the detailed analysis of the 10 general awareness questions related to Sikkim asked in Sub-Inspector Main Written Examination of 2019. There were a total of 23 questions which were asked from Sikkim in this examination, which carried around more than 20% of the marks weightage in the general awareness section. We will cover this examination in 3 parts. 10 questions in this video, that is in video 5, 7 questions in the next video, that is video 6, and 6 questions in the subsequent video, that is video 7. This video is the third video in the 25 video lecture series of Solved SPSC Sikkim GS questions. The first 4 videos have already been uploaded in this channel, in which I have done the analysis of the questions asked in 4 important SPSC papers. If you have not watched it, please do it after seeing this video. If you are an aspirant for any government exam, a researcher, or an enthusiast of Sikkim GK, follow SSC Sikkim to quench your thirst of Sikkim's general knowledge. If in any near future you need to revise this lecture, you may not need to watch this video again. Instead, a PDF of this PowerPoint presentation have been compiled for you, which you can download it from the PDF buy link given in the description box of this video. It will just cost you 15 rupees. If you buy this PDF, it would be a great support for us, which would motivate us to bring you this kind of videos in future. Please download the PDF after this session and extend your support to us. Now, let us have the overview of this session. First of all, we will do the analysis of the 10 Sikkim GS questions asked in Sub-Inspector Main Written Examination 2019. Followed by, we will have 5 practice questions from the previous session, that is video 4, and in the last, we will have the question of the session. Let us begin with the first question. Which schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the administration of tribal areas of the northeastern states? So a particular section of the Indian Constitution has been assigned with the administration of the tribal areas of northeastern states. So it is being asked that which schedule of the Indian Constitution is that. Let us see. Currently in Mizoram, there are 94.75% of tribal population. In Nagaland, it is 87.70. In Meghalaya, it is 85.53. In Arunachal Pradesh, it is 63.66. In Manipur, it is 34.41. In Tripura, it is 30.94, and in Assam, it is 12.69. The 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution provides for the administration of the tribal areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. So of these 7 states, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram is being governed by the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, in which it sees the administration of the tribal areas in these 4 states. So the answer to our question is 6th schedule. So 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the administration of the tribal areas in the northeastern states. Let us move to the next question. Which constitutional amendment included Nepalese in 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution? So we all have read in the first video of this series that Mrs. Dilkumari Bhandari, who has got the Bhanu Puraskar of this year, has been responsible for including Nepali language in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. But when the Nepali language was included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution, the Constitution must have been amended, right? So out of this, that is 74th, 71st, 52nd and 97, which amendment was done to include Nepali in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution? Let us see. So here you can see Konkani, Manipuri, that is Meitei, and Nepali were added in 1992 by 71st Constitutional Amendment Act. So in addition with Nepali, to other languages, that is Konkani and Manipuri language were also added in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. And by which amendment was it done? It was done by 71st Constitutional Amendment Act. So our answer is 71st Amendment. Okay, so by the 71st Amendment, Nepali was included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Let us move on to the next question. The question is, main features of Sikkim State Forest Department's notification titled Sikkim Forestry Amity and Reverence Rules are: number 1, preserve trees by encouraging people to forge relationship of brotherhood or sisterhood. Number 2, encourage tradition practice known as Mithini or myth for environmental conservation. Number 3, to promote human nature relation through adoptive or Smriti trees. Number 4, to reduce the financial burden on the forest department. So out of these four options, so we need to say which of the above four options are true. Whether only first option is true, whether first and second is true, whether first, second and third are true, or all of the above options are true. So before I say you which is the correct answer to this question, let us understand what Sikkim Forestry Amity and Reverence Rules 2017 is. We all know that in Nepali community there is a culture of forging ritualistic brotherhood or sisterhood with two people despite out of the family lineage, and we in Nepali community locally call it as mitlaunu. That is to be in an amity or integral friendship, a friendship not only defined by emotions but even by rituals and acceptance of society. Both persons who are now in this amity or friendship are known as Met or Mitini. Interestingly, state government of Sikkim also thought of similar concept for conservation of trees, and hence we have Rukh Sangha Mitlaunu. The forest department through Sikkim Forestry Amity and Reverence Rules 2017 allowed people to get into an amity with trees. In Nepali it would be called Rukh Sangha Mitlaunu, as I said. The idea behind this notification is that people would respect and love trees more than before if they are forced into a kind of relationship with the trees. We will not go into the details of this notification and work out with our options. If any of you want to read the notification in detail, I will put the link to the notification in the description. You may read the notification from that link. Let us see our options. The first option is preserve trees by encouraging people to force relationship of brotherhood or sisterhood, which is correct, right? As we just discussed. The second option is encourage traditional practice locally known as Met or Mithini for environmental conservation. This is also correct. And third, to promote human nature relation through adoptive or Smriti trees. Now, let us understand this point. Suppose a person dies in a family, and the family members of that person want the departed soul to be remembered forever through some symbol of remembrance. What do? They construct shades around the footpaths where people can rest upon. They donate furniture to the hospital and the deeds like that. But through this Trees Amity rule of 2017, in the name of the deceased or the departed soul, the family can adopt a tree and take care of it and consider the tree as the remembrance tree of the deceased or the Smriti tree. So this option is also correct as per the Amity rules 2017. The fourth option is to reduce the financial burden on the forest department. We cannot consider this option because as per this notification, there is no any hint that there will be any reduction in the financial burden of the forest department. So the fourth option is ruled out. So our correct answer is 1, 2 and 3. That is option number C. Now you may ask, why am I discussing these things in details? As you can see that this kind of questions has been framed from this kind of notifications, that is Sikkim Forestry Amity and Reverence Rule 2017. So it is important for all the aspirants to read each and every government notification in detail, as the questions from these kind of notifications has been asked in the examinations. Let us go to the next question. The next question is Secure Himalaya, a 6-year-long environmental project by central government, is to preserve biodiversity and land and forest resources in the high Himalayan ecosystem spread over 4 states: West, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand and Sikkim. It is meant for specific landscapes, including which of the following landscape? So this question is about an environmental project named Secure Himalaya. So Secure Himalaya, it was a project launched by the Indian government to ensure the conservation of the forest resources, land and biodiversity with local and global significance. When was it launched? It was launched in 2nd of October 2017. Let us see this in more detail. It covers the high Himalayan ecosystem spread over Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. The project is a collaboration between the Environment, Forest and Climate Change Ministry, that is MOEFCC, and the United Nations Development Programme. The project was launched in the background of increasing habitat degradation, fragmentation of area, which is increasing due to the high dependence of the local communities on the natural resources and unplanned infrastructure. So it is very easy to understand that this is an international project whose aim is to protect the biodiversity all around the world. So what are the specific landscapes for this project implementation? As you can see, first landscape is Kanchenjunga, that is Upper Tista Valley in Sikkim. So this is important. Another landscape is Gangotri, Govinda and Dharma, Byans valleys in Pitotgarh in Uttarakhand. This is also important. Third is Lahaul, Pangi and Kinnaur in Himachal Pradesh. And fourth is Changthang in Jammu and Kashmir. So let us see our option: Changthang, Lahaul, Gangotri and Kanchenjunga. So our answer is all of the above. The answer is all of the above. So this Secure Himalaya project is a 6-year long project. If this was launched in 2017, this would only end in 2023. So currently we are in 2021. So this project is still of a very good relevance. So there are very high chances that questions from this project may come in exam. So I would recommend you all to remember the launch date of this project, that is 2nd October 2017. And another thing is under which collaboration this project has been launched. So it is Environment, Forest and Climate Change Ministry of India and United Nations Development Program. So please remember this, and these 4 landscapes which are important and which also happen to be our answer of this question. Let us move on to the next question. So the next question is Sikkim government and Union government's MOU on Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana aims at. See, we will not discuss this question in detail because this is an irrelevant question because it was asked in 2019 and this Ujjwal Discom Yojana is an old Yojana. But I would recommend you all to be familiar with all the current and upcoming central government Yojanas. That is what some of those Yojanas are: PM Kisan Yojana, and the other Yojana is Mudra Yojana, that is Micro Units Development Refinance Agency Yojana, and the other is PM Swanidhi Yojana. PM Swanidhi Yojana, the full form of this Yojana is Pradhan Mantri Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi Yojana. This Yojana is for street vendors. Okay. So this kind of Yojanas will be asked in examinations. Various questions are made through this kind of Yojanas, this kind of government schemes. Further, the full form of this DISCOM is, if you all want to know, it is distribution companies. DIS for distribution and COM for companies. Basically it is talking about power distribution company. So skipping this question, let us move on to the next question. The question is, which of the following is true? The first option is Sikkim is only state in India that has attained the official status of fully organic state. Option number B, around 75,000 hectares of land in Sikkim has been converted into certified organic farms. Option number C, Sikkim alone contributes around 80,000 tons of organic production out of total 1.24 million tons of recorded production in India. And number D, all of the above. So the question is about organic Sikkim. Let us see this in detail. The top 3 states, that is Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Maharashtra, account for about half the area under organic production. The top 10 states account for about 80% of the total area under organic cultivation. Sikkim is the only Indian state to have become fully organic so far. So the first option, that is Sikkim is the only state in India that has attained the official status of fully organic state. This option is true. So another point, Sikkim is the first 100% organic state in the world. All of its farmland is certified organic. The transition has benefited more than 66,000 farming families that practice organic and agricultural farming on more than 76,000 hectares of land. So this option, which is around 75,000 hectares of land in Sikkim has been converted into certified organic farms. This option is also true. Let us see the third point. Organic cultivation doesn't involve the use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers and thus helps to maintain a harmonious balance among the various complex ecosystems. Also, it has improved the quality of the soil, which further improves the standard of crops production there. Within 1.24 million tons of organic production in the country, around 80,000 million is supplied by Sikkim alone. So the option, that is Sikkim alone contributes around 80,000 tons of organic production out of total 1.24 million tons of recorded production in India. This option is also true, which means our answer is all of the above. So all of these above options are true. Let us move on to the next question. Which of the following monasteries is known as Galden Namge Lache? So here it is given options: Hemis Monastery, Tawang Monastery, Bomdila Monastery and Namdroling Monastery. Which of this monastery is known as Galden Namge Lache? Let us see. Tawang Monastery is the largest of its kind in a country and is one of the largest monasteries in Asia. It is said to be one of the biggest Buddhist monasteries in the world outside of Lhasa, Tibet. It is also known by another Tibetan name called Galden Namge Lache, which means celestial paradise in the clear 9th. So the answer to our question is Tawang Monastery. Tawang Monastery is known as Galden Namge Latse. So where is this Tawang Monastery? It is located in Tawang city of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, this question can be asked. It is located in Tawang city of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, Tawang city of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, where is Hemis Monastery? Hemis Monastery is in Ladakh. Okay, where is Bomdila Monastery? It is also in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, it is also in Arunachal Pradesh. And this monastery, that is Bomdila Monastery, is also known as Gentse Garden Rabiel Ling Monastery. Okay, Gentse Garden Rabiel Ling Monastery. This monastery is known by name Bomdila Monastery. Okay, so this question can be asked. And another monastery, that is Namdroling Monastery. This monastery is in Mysore, Karnataka. Okay, this monastery is in South India. So the answer to this question, that is Tawang Monastery, is also known as Galden Namge Latse. Let us move on to the next question. The next question is, which Indian state has the largest number of seats reserved for the scheduled tribe in Lok Sabha? The options are Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh and Sikkim. So it is being asked that which of these following 4 states have the largest number of seats reserved for scheduled tribes, that is ST, in Lok Sabha. As you all know that in the Legislative Assembly different states sends different representatives. So we need to answer which of the following state have the largest ST representatives from the state. So here you can see in this column there are different states and the union territories. In this column it is Lok Sabha seats. In this column it is reserved for scheduled caste, that is SC, and in this column seats reserved for ST. So here in this column you can easily see that is 6 ST seats from the Madhya Pradesh is the highest one. Let us see some more from here as well. That is, this is also the column of ST. Here also you can see there is no number of seats greater than 6. So our answer is 6, that is from Madhya Pradesh. So 6 ST seats are reserved from Madhya Pradesh, which is the highest in the country. So our answer is Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so we talked about ST seats. Now let us see for SC seats as well. So in this exam, that is in the SI police, it was asked for ST. In any upcoming exam, it can be asked for SC as well. So for SC, here you can see in this column, the largest among all these numbers is 6. Okay, that is from Bihar. Let us see in another also for other states. This is the SC column. So here in this column you can see it is 17, which is greater than previous, that is 6. Means it is not Bihar but it is Uttar Pradesh which have the largest number of seats reserved for scheduled caste tribes for Lok Sabha. We can conclude that the states having largest ST seats in Lok Sabha, it is Madhya Pradesh, and the states having largest SC seats in Lok Sabha, it is Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so these two things becomes important. Let us move on to the next question. So it is very straightforward question. When was Sikkim police born? Okay, means when was Sikkim police established? In which year it was established? So let us see. It was on the 27th of November 1897 that a force consisting of 1 head constable and 5 constables was posted at Aritar near Rinok on the authority of the resolution passed by the King of Sikkim in the council. Sikkim police was thus born. So the answer to our question is 1897. In the year 1897, Sikkim police was born. Where was the first Sikkim police posted? The first Sikkim police was posted in Aritar near Rinok. Okay, Aritar near Rinok. So this question can also be asked. The answer to this question is Sikkim police was born in 1897. So with this, we complete the analysis of the 10 questions asked in SI Police main written examination of 2019. The remaining 13 questions we will be doing in the next 2 parts. The remaining 13 questions we will be doing in the next 2 parts, that is video 6 and video 7. Now it is time for 5 practice questions from the previous lecture, that is video 4, in which we had analyzed the US Prelims Undersecretary paper. Here is a small contest for all the correct answers of these 5 practice questions. The first 3 correct answers in the comment box will get a free PDF of last 3 lectures, that is video 3, video 4 and this lecture, that is video 5 till now. The terms and conditions for this contest is you need to answer all the 5 questions correctly, and the second condition is you need to mention your email or WhatsApp with the answer where your free PDFs will be sent if shortlisted. Now let us see the questions. The first question is, what was the purpose of Treaty of Tumlong? The second question is, Article 371D in the Constitution stands for which state or state's special provision? Question number 3, what is the MMI scale for Zone 4 in which Sikkim falls with reference to earthquake zones in India? Number 4, which northeastern state of India shares its border with only one state and one country? Number 5, Article 371F, which gives special power to Sikkim, comes as a result of dash amendment in the Indian Constitution. So these are the 5 questions which you need to answer. Now it is time for answer to the question of the session which was asked in previous video. The question of the session in the previous video, that is video 4, was recently a name Sandhya Gurung was in news. What is the context? So this was the question asked in the previous video. Let us see the answer of this question. So here you can see she is Miss Sandhya Gurung and she is none other than Miss Lovelina Borgohain. Lovelina Borgohain is a boxer who has won a bronze medal in the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo this year. And who is Sandhya Gurung? Sandhya Gurung is the coach of Lovelina Borgohain. Okay, so here you can see from Sikkim with Love how coach Sandhya Gurung turned Lovelina into a lion. So Sandhya Gurung, who is from Sikkim, is the coach of Lovelina Borgohain, who has won the gold medal in the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics this year. Lovelina Borgohain is from Assam. So this was the answer to our question. Now let us see who have given the correct answer. SSC Sikkim would like to congratulate Mr. Navraj Bastola, who has given the correct answer to the question of the session and who has been eligible to get the free PDF of the SPSC series for the entire 25 sessions. So now let us move on to the question of this session. So if you want to win free PDFs like Navraj Bastola, there is a contest for the question of the session. That is, the first correct answer in the comment box will get free PDF for all 25 lectures of SPSC series. The terms and conditions for this are, first of all, you need to answer this question correctly, and second thing is you need to mention your email or the WhatsApp in the answer where your free PDFs will be sent if shortlisted. So here we come to the question of the session. So here you can see a photo of a person. The question is, you just need to identify this personality. Let me give a small hint for this question. He is also known as Green Man of Sikkim. Okay, he is also known as Green Man of Sikkim. So please identify this person and write your answer in the comment box, and if lucky you will be eligible to get free PDF for the entire SPSC series. So with this we complete the session. If you wish to download the PDF of this session, you can always click the PDF by link in the description box. In the next video we will meet with the analysis of the remaining Sikkim GS questions asked in Sub-Inspector Main Paper 2019. Till then, take care and stay safe and joyful. Thank you so much.